Hey, Brannon Beliso here, and I am back. Today is Friday, July 29th, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on the West Coast. This is Success Never Sleeps, and hopefully everybody's living their best life. As always, I get started by thanking my sponsors, Market Muscles, Kids Love Life Skills, my studio, and of course, LC Accounting. And I've been gone for the past 3 weeks or so, and it was a unique opportunity as I go back and watch over the past couple of shows, hearing my friends, I'm going to call them my friends more than my partners and clients, just share their learning experience through wisdom and what they've gained working together with me. And I'm just always in awe. I mean, I'm easily in awe. As I've always been taught, when we teach classes, we should be easily in awe so that way we're inspiring people. But, make no mistake, I'm not a cheerleader. The one thing I heard from everybody at that spoke over the past couple of weeks, Marco, Jason, James, and Monique, is I am tough. I am tough. I think sometimes the yin and the yang, there's time for tough love, and there's time to be more of kid glove with people. And I'm just very grateful to them for one, being vulnerable enough to share their experiences, good and bad, because like any relationship, I'm not always the best consultant. I'm just not. I'm a human being. Sometimes I'm on point, other times I'm not. But when the day's done, I believe much like life, that's what is so important about that yin yang mindset that we learn in the martial arts. You got to take the good with the bad, right? I mean, you simply do. So as you come aboard, say hi. I love to know that people are here. Put your comments in. You have questions. We're going to go deep today. Hey, Bob, what's happening, Bob? Yeah, our disruptors did a fantastic job. Super proud. I am, Bob. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Marco was a wonderful host and all that was contributed by Jason and James and Monique was really, really cool. Jason's here, Monique's here. What's happening, you guys? We're all looking forward to It's Time Live Believe. That's coming up August 13th through 16th. Got a lot of cool surprises. I think it's very timely. I don't believe it's by coincidence. I did it selfishly for the wisdom clients. I wanted us to get together right after wisdom ended so that we could really delve deep face to face. But I think it's very timely. This recession, if you don't believe it's here, then in whatever part of the country or world you are, it is knocking on your door and it is knocking hard. So we're going to delve deep into that today about the recession and what I believe would be good advice or data to offer you. Why? Because I've owned small businesses for well over 35 years, and not only martial arts businesses, other businesses as well. I had a DJ company for close to a decade. I ran my father's martial arts school. I worked at my grandma's restaurants and coffee shops. So I've been around small businesses since I was a child. And I believe there's certain mindsets and certain things that you can do. Just let's talk about the martial arts industry. I've owned martial arts schools for 22 years. I opened my first school right when the dot-com bust happened, followed by 9/11, right? Followed by several deaths in my own personal family and our team, followed by the war in Kuwait, followed by the mortgage crisis, followed by, the pandemic, and now, of course, this recession. And when I was gathering data for today's show, I study generational businesses. That's not a term I made up. It was introduced to me by a gentleman named Solomon Brenner, who owns Action Karate. And they have like 22, 23 locations. And he used the terminology generational business, and that sparked my curiosity. So I found myself researching, as I always love to do. And I researched, and I went deep on that. And a generational business, one of the key characteristics of a generational business is it knows when to contract, and a generational business knows when to expand. And they're not afraid to contract. I know we want to see this type of growth in our businesses, but let's look at what's going on right now, right? A clear indication that we're in a recession. Tech industry, which dominates the top 10 stocks pretty much across the board. There are hiring freezes. There are even layoffs, right? Let's look at the top stock. I think I saw today Apple is around 160 something per share. At the height, it was up around 180. So Apple's down. Facebook's down, which is now called Meta, by 50%. And Zuckerberg issued a big statement saying, hey, hiring freezes, and we're going to start cutting people that don't want to contribute. So they're taking a stance as well. And if that's an indication, we need to be mindful of that, right? I just saw a headline as I was picking up some breakfast for the family. The recession fears, they're very real. And look at gas prices. The consumer index is what? Up 9.1%. Inflation, 9.1%. But again, it's not a naysayer attitude. I think it's very prudent, very smart as any small business to pay attention, because as we witnessed through the pandemic, who suffered the most? Small businesses. The big guys with a lot of money in their pockets can go deep for years and years. They have 6 months of savings. They have all those different things. It's a much different day. Cool. So I'm going to get really deep onto that, but that's why I think It's Time Live Believe is so timely. So those of you who are coming out for the 4 days, I applaud you. Those who are coming out for the 2 day or 1 day, I applaud you as well. And now we have a virtual option. So take advantage of all of that, because I believe what I understand about running small businesses, because I have for well over 35 years, I know I need to be very good at a lot of things, right? And when you're weighing out into this recession, what do you cut? Number one for me will always be digital marketing. It will be digital marketing. And we look at the way Facebook ads are running for a lot of people, not very well. People are shifting to TikTok, right? They're putting money into Google ads. That may be something you can't afford. And the small school owner can't afford that. So learning to do social media well or really well is only to your advantage right now. So you may need to be the janitor through the recession. You may need to teach all the classes through this recession, right? You may need to be the person that is going to wear a lot of hats, and you need to wear them really, really well. Let me say hi to a couple of people coming aboard. What's up? Who else is there? Steph. Hey, Steph. Steph Gilbert. Scott Tracy. What's happening, sir? Scott will be with us virtually as well. It's good to see you here, Sir Scott. I'm going to applaud you because Scott's getting all his ducks in a row, learning how to run a great small business. He's preparing himself. And I think your timing's good, Scott. And yes, unless you're like, my client Marco that's moving his school to another location, I don't know if I'd be opening another school right now. Right? I really don't know if I'd be doing that. In Marco's case, we got a really great lease negotiation, and that all weighed out. When he first approached me about opening that location, I told him not to. And lo and behold, we got a better rent rate, because we're still in this pandemic and the variations. I think timing is important. Timing is really important, but how do we time things, right? You can't time the stock market. You can't time these things. So what do we trust at that point? You have to trust your gut. And you need to be in tune with yourself. And I know that's a lot of kumbaya stuff for people, but I live and die by it. I trust myself. And the fact that I trust myself, I'm able to take action quickly once I make a choice. See, that's one of the big things. Conrad from Respect Martial Arts gave me the terminology of analysis paralysis. You analyze something to the point that you're paralyzed and you do nothing. And I believe what really helped us through this pandemic was our ability to move quickly. We were up and running with virtual within a week of everything being shut down. So the ability to move quickly, and this is strictly small business mindset entrepreneur, the ability to move quickly comes from how much you trust yourself. Do you trust your decisions? Do you trust your choices? That's the big thing, because if you trust the choice you're making, you will move quickly. But make no mistake, you're going to fail. You're going to make lots of mistakes. And that's the other earmark of a successful generational business. They will do something until it works. They'll try one thing. If it fails, they try another. It fails, they try another. They will keep at it until they create their version of success, right? Because I think that's the other big thing right now through this pandemic and moving into this recession is success is a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Where I'm at this point in my life, success is being able to sit there in Las Vegas and watch my son play basketball. That's success for me. Yesterday's success was getting on the mats and teaching and impacting lives and making a difference. Today's success is sitting here with you, trying to affect change, better our industry, and help you create your version of success. So success is different for different people. And it might even be in a day. My today's success might be, eating healthy, whatever the case may be. What's up, Virginia? Hey, what's up, Mish? I get to see Mish this August as well. And we're excited about the event. I can't tell you how much I get like a kid in a candy store just to see people and people I love and friends, and to watch people grow before my eyes. That is really, really, really powerful. So I had taken a screenshot today, and I want to get into that. So one of the indications that things are changing tremendously is Saks Fifth Avenue. All right, we know what Saks Fifth Avenue. Well, they have a thing called Saks off Fifth Avenue, right? They're partnering with Rent the Runway so shoppers can buy pre-owned designer pieces on its site. Listen to this, the global secondhand market is expected to double to $82 billion by 2026. Do you know why? Because people looking at this recession, and this is again data, people are not going to be buying things brand new. People are buying things secondhand. I witnessed that myself, was in like the 90s. I think it was during Reaganomics when we went through that last recession. All these secondhand stores popped up left and right. We had a thing here in San Francisco called Buffalo Exchange, and they had stores everywhere, and they all had secondhand clothing. So that was an indication for me back then, because that was a recession. And that's a clear indication to me now that the trend could be possibly moving that way, right? Yeah, I can't wait till your wife, we get to meet your wife, Sensei Mish. All right, another indication. And I don't think this is denial. I just think this is, the post-traumatic stress syndrome of the pandemic. Everybody is traveling right now. Hertz Rent-A-Car saw an increase. Airfares have increased. Hotels are crazy. Because you know what? I don't care if there's a recession. Me and my family need to go on vacation. We went to Vegas last week. We even extended our stay by one day. People need it right now. So they don't care what it costs. They will go out there and they will make sure that happens. But, and I want you to hold that thought. Hold that thought, okay? Hold that thought. Everyone's going on vacations. And we saw this with Netflix. Netflix subscribers are dropping left and right. Cable Comcast failed to add new broadband customers for the first time ever. Wow. Sending shares down 9%. Okay, think about that. People are cutting things already. So something like cable, if they can watch it for free on their computer at YouTube or whatever, right? And just Bluetooth it or Apple TV it to their TV, it's happening more and more and more. So we can already see that secondhand, right? Secondhand stores, increasing their revenue. Netflix is dropping, cable subscribers are dropping across the board. People are cutting expenses now. You know, People talk about that. There was a lot of spending, but the spending was, other than big ticket items you need, like maybe a computer for your business, they're not spending a lot of stuff on the in between. They're going straight for food. Food is so expensive right now, but people are buying more and more of that and less of things in between, like a pair of Nikes or something of that nature. So it's not a gloom and doom mentality. You know me. I'm Mr. Positive. I love positivity. Positivity is so important to me because it's what's helped me in my life through my sister dying, through my own personal bankruptcy at 25 years old, through heartbreak, through, opening a business as the .com is busting, through all of it, all of it. And when you read a book, the Mindset by Carol Dweck, which I highly recommend, she really talks about that. You talk to Tony Robbins, you talk to Gary Vee, you talk to Grant Cardone. Every successful entrepreneur will tell you managing your mindset is vital, good times or bad times. So whatever that is for you, for me, it's faith. I have a deep sense of faith in God, and I have hope. That works for me. So I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to work hard because I know this too shall pass, because I've been through it too many times already in my 60 years of life. And it's that ability to manage your mindset, because you are the leader of the band, right? You are the captain of the ship. If your team sees the whites of your eyes and you're scared and you're hesitant, it's going to trickle down. So you, as the leader of your business, need to lead by example and step up. Step up. Do what is needed. Mop the floor, teach a class, hang a flyer, do everything that is necessary. Because as they said in Apollo 13, failure is not an option. Write that down. Failure is not an option. Make a commitment to that right now. And everybody that's coming aboard, do say hi. I see a lot of people sitting up there in the eye in the sky, and I love to give people shout outs. Seeing the familiar faces, I have a deep kinship with everybody that's here already. Bob, thank you. Bob's one of God. Bob comes and watches every show, and even supported the wisdom folks. Thank you, Bob, for doing that. And Sensei Misha, I can't wait again. I'm going to say to meet your wife, Scott. You and I have had a conversation. Hey, there's Adam. Adam McCauley and I go way, way back. We go way back. And I love that Adam calls upon me as needed when he finds himself stuck or wanting to better his business. So put it in the comments if you honestly believe we are in a recession or headed for one. Put it in the comments. And if you don't agree with me, then tell me that as well. Because there's different pockets, right? Somebody said to me the other day, well, you're there in the Bay Area. You guys have a lot of money, so you won't feel this recession. I beg to differ. The Park and Rec Center opened up right before summer. We had people canceling 10 weeks of our camp. 10 weeks they had already paid for. We had maybe a half dozen people do that. Half dozen. Sasha, what's happening, Sasha? Sasha was with me. He was graciously at the last minute became my special guest at Breakfast with Brannon. Sasha has 3,000 active students in Germany. And he said it, they're not feeling it in Germany right now. Do I believe they're going to? Everything I read, right, with the war in Ukraine and all, do I believe that's going to happen? Potentially, potentially. I mean, it has a worldwide effect. But right now, Sasha is one of those bright lights in the industry in Europe. 3,000 active students. How cool is that? Mish says, Jason says we are in a recession. Mish says, I think we are headed that way. Even if we don't get there, we will get close. Yeah, I mean, every indication, Sensei, Mish is saying that, by January, we're going to feel the full effects of this. Right now, we're all riding on the high that summer times are slow. Okay, so I want to shift this mindset if we can. It's August, last minute vacations. Everybody's away. We know come the end of August, man, we're going to see. We saw 115 new students last August, right? When we shift over to the Market Muscles website, we saw 115 new students between two locations. We've never seen that. Nor have we seen January to March. We had our best quarter ever in both locations in our 22 years of business. Ever. Boom. April rolled around, Omicron, gas prices, war in Ukraine. We have seen the dip in the past 3 months. We have. And if you haven't, then I would just pay attention, please. I would pay attention because that can turn very quickly. Much like one day we're open, next minute, shut down, lockdown, where everyone's looking at each other. What the heck? Right? So again, I believe any smart business person, a successful business person, is grounded. We're centered. We're balanced. And we will always, because it's smart business, look at your best case scenario, look at your worst case scenario. Cool? So a couple of people think we're headed into recession, right? Or we're there. Yeah, put it in there because I think nobody's been wanting to talk about the R word. I was at the Super Show. I was there for Braden's basketball tournament, but I was blessed to go to the opening ceremonies. I did Breakfast with Brannon, got to hang out with Sasha. A whole new group of people from Germany came to that event. So that was very cool. And I got a chance to walk the floor, right? The showroom floor. I didn't get to take anyone's seminars because I need to get to Braden's championship game. And nobody would talk about the R word. Everybody's like, yay. And I'm like, that's very cool. We haven't seen each other in a couple of years. This is the first time a lot of us are face to face since the pandemic. And it was a wonderful event. It was wonderful. The venue at the Forum is brand new, smells like new carpet. It was smaller though. I will admit the show was much, much smaller than I've ever seen it. And that's expected, right? That's totally expected with what's going on right now. But I also had the opportunity to talk to people of wealth, and people of wealth are not worried about this recession. I saw that. And the other half, that small school owner running from seminar to seminar, booth to booth, trying to find some way to grow his business in good times or bad, they're in total denial. There is no R word. There is no recession. Actually, they're going, I can't handle it. We just went through this vicious pandemic. I can't handle a recession. I've heard that straight up from some of my clients and friends. I'm already down on my knees from this pandemic in my business, and I'm still digging my way out. Now I'm going to get hit with this recession. Don't allow the fact that you might be a little bit down and out in any shape, way, or form. You may not be it student wise, but you might be it emotionally and mentally. Do not allow that to deny the fact that we are heading into recession or we are in one. Now, I said the same thing in the pandemic, and no, a lot of people didn't listen to me. And I hope you heed me on this. And if it doesn't happen, praise God. If it does, then we'll have the strength to get through it. Cool? All right. So, with that said, what do we do? What do we do? The first thing I want you to do is assess your current financial situation, right? And we already started doing that. We're looking at different scenarios right now. We were going to remodel both schools right now. But you know what? Talking to my accountant the other day and Letitia, my bookkeeper, we sat the three of us and we all agree we can put the brakes on that for 6 months. It's not going to make or break our locations. Not at all. But right now, building supplies are really high. Contractor fees are really, really high right now. It's happening. Let's see. Adam is saying staying positive is the only way to think, even when everyone else is negative. It's our job to lead others to greatness, even if we're shaking in our boots. Yep. Stay the course. Mental defense is more important than physical. Thanks for all your guidance in our industry and the personal insights. You're very welcome, sir. And you saw me through that pandemic. I never blinked once. Not even once, because I understand my mindset and being positive was important, but that doesn't mean I don't see the yin and the yang, both sides of the coin. Smart business, best case scenario, worst case scenario. So we've started the preliminary on this, and Letitia and I were talking. She's of LC accounting, also my sister. We have to assess. Be it, because do not make no mistake, there will be no PPP money. There will be no employee retention credit. There will be zero bailout. It's not going to happen this time. The country's not in a position. Your business will go under. It will. So you want to assess your business. Take a look at it right now with what you have saved, if anything, after this recession, the type of revenue you're currently producing, right? Look at it. Take lock, stock, and barrel of your whole business. And then ask yourself this question. If I lost 10% of my revenue, how long could my business survive with what we're making, what I have saved? And do look at the access. Look at SBA loans, all those different things that might be out there. I can gratefully say a big thank you to my sister, Letitia. We never had to borrow money during the pandemic. We worked so hard. We even got a $5,000 grant from Facebook and a $1,500 ad spend from Facebook. We were running over every rock. So you want to be mindful of that. I know interest rates are high right now, but if you're able to go to an SB who will give you the best rate and probably the most amount of money, don't negate that. Take a look and see what's available. If you have to go that route and you don't want to lose your business, that may need to be there, right? Because there will be no bailout. Mark, write that down. Brannon Beliso said there'll be no bailout. Not this round. Absolutely not. Okay, so assess your entire business and then ask yourself, if I lose 10%, how long could my business maintain itself with 90% revenue where we're at? If I lost 20%, if I lost 30, if I lost 40, if I lost 50, where along that way between the 10, the 20, and 30, would you have to go get a loan? And could you afford the loan payment, right? To every scenario. So as this thing begins to unfold, you can really pay attention to everything that's going on. Anybody get that? Does that make sense to you? Put it in the comments. Let me see what Monique has to say. We're definitely in a recession, and it's showing up in certain industries more than others. Small businesses, real estate, learn from the pandemic, shift your mindset, and keep your hands up. Yeah, the real estate market is finally feeling that because interest rates are so high right now, right? Historically, I don't think they're as high as they were in the big recession during Reaganomics, which I lived through. But I know interest rates are pretty high, right? So we've watched building is starting to slow down because, people that want to buy these single family homes don't have the money. But would it be a sweet time for a real estate investor, give it another 6 months to start buying up some of these? How many real estate investors bought up people's misery during the mortgage crisis, right? Because all those people foreclosed on their loans. Man, there were people every day at these auctions buying up somebody's, pain and suffering. and turning them into rental properties. That's out there, right? It's out there. So again, that's another example. I know Monique's husband is in real estate. It is. That market is being felt too now. There's limited supply. Building supplies are high. Contractors have been working like crazy, crazy, because during the pandemic, rich people were remodeling. But as far as new buildings and stuff, pay attention. I think the brakes are going to be put on a lot of projects coming up. Cool. So assess your entire business. You got that? And I did it too. And, I pay attention. I said that when the pandemic first came down. I said, well, if need be, right, I know how much equity is in my home. If I have to sell my home and move into an apartment, I would. I looked at my equity the other day and we're like at 1.5 million worth of equity. That's a good day. That's a good day no matter how you want to slice or dice it. And that works for me all day long, right? Then I said, if I have to cash out my 401k, I want to know every opportunity out there. And of course, both my accountant, my financial people, and Letitia said, no, we can get a loan. We can definitely get a loan, right? Whether worst case scenario that you have to put up your house to get the loan, whatever the case may be, you want to look at every different scenario so that you're well versed, and you're prepared for it, right? You're prepared for it. So I think that's very, very important. You got it? Cool. Next thing, and this is the big one. In the research that I do, I don't only study our industry. I think it's very narrow-minded to simply say, well, that's not our industry. It doesn't affect us. Well, absolutely it does. Right now, we are looking for a new after-school coordinator. And my wife was supposed to have an interview with a girl this morning. She reached out to my wife and said, I'm going to pass on the job because gas prices are too high and I won't be able to afford that if I drive from San Francisco. Now, San Francisco is literally 15 minutes from the Millbrae location. But you see the mindset? This person won't even apply for the job because of gas prices. So I want to pay attention to that. Is that going to affect our business? Sure, Shell just posted that, I don't know, crazy 6 billion something, and they expect more revenue coming in because of the gas prices, right? That has nothing to do with what's happening on our side. We are not an energy company. We are not a gas company. But that gas company is profitable, yet it's stopping someone from applying for a job and maybe other people driving to us. So again, you need to study data from other industries. And it's hard because I'm not a big news guy. I don't like watching news, but I realize as a facilitator, I need to study a lot of data to at least give you an educated guess on what potentially we all could be facing as small business owners, in particular, the martial arts industry. Cool? We're all good on that? So do a lock, stock, and barrel. Talk to your accountant, talk to your bookkeeper. I know Letitia is going to be crunching numbers for us, and she'll tell me this is what we, if we lose 10%, this is where we're going to be at in 6 months. We lose 20%. And at this point, if we lose 30% of our business and there's no government bailout, I want to go to the SBA and get us $300,000, whatever the case may be. I trust Letitia and she's going to crunch all those numbers for us. Good. Now, I think the biggest thing we should be doing anyways, and you guys, if you have questions, can you please put them in there? I love your questions. Put your questions in there. I'll be happy to answer them for you. The big thing, and when I rewrote the new student experience for me, reverse mortgage might be useful for those with no mortgage, no rent, or no mortgage payment. Thank you. I know that reverse mortgage in some cases for senior citizens has been really painful. So I don't know a lot about them. I haven't heard the best news on them, but you're right, Adam. I'll even look at a reverse mortgage. Sure. We'll look at everything, sir. Everything, everything, everything. So even before, I believe the biggest thing we need to do is position ourselves as an investment, right? An investment. So one of the things that happens when somebody says to us in our school, how much for martial arts classes, we share that for your investment into your child's personal development needs and future, our tuition plans are as follow. And then we give them the price. But listen to everything that I put in there. And I encourage you to write something similar because you want to plant seeds. You want to shift their mindset by simply sharing and educating them on benefits. Benefits, benefits, benefits. So, what did I say there? Your investment. See, an investment mindset never thinks short term. Great investors will always think long term. That's why I'm not super crazy about day trading. I do a little bit of it, but I'm in it for the long game. The long game, right? That's where my head's at. So if I come to you and I'm simply looking for the best price, I don't care how much convincing you do. They're not going to pay you. It doesn't matter. For example, if I can't afford a Bentley, I can sit in that Bentley showroom for the next 3 years while this salesman sings and does his little dance. I will never buy that freaking Bentley. It's the same thing here. And we're going back after a year of being with Market Muscles, a little side note, and we're putting our prices again. We are putting our link directly to the trial membership and a link directly to the schedule. Directly. You can click on it, look at all our prices, everything. Now, I saw a post, and I know there's a school of thought. Don't put your prices at the website. They just don't know how valuable you are yet, and you might miss out on a conversation. Well, I think today's consumer is a lot different. I really, really do. Is there still that one or two that need a little song and dance and hand holding before they make a buying decision? Yes. But I believe the majority of what we're witnessing in our industry is a lot different, a lot different, a lot different, a lot different. So for me, we have no challenge with that, especially with the recession, because it's such an embarrassing position to be in as a parent. If I put my child through this wonderful trial and they love it, and I still can't afford it, the amount of shame and guilt, that parent will never recommend you. That parent will never come back to you again on a human level, right? Because if we have to say no to our children, that's a bad day. Even worse, I say yes, you lock them into a contract, and 6 months from now, I've got to renege on it. And now you're taking me to small claims or doing whatever you do. See? So again, I'm trying to position my business to be as transparent and upfront as possible to save you pain. That's thinking of the consumer first. It really is. Now, go back into that website and look at it, make sure all your copy positions you as an investment for their child. I'm going to give you, when I was rewriting the new student experience, which is fundamentally our trial, one of the things we teach the new student with the parents sitting there is how to stand at attention, right? All right. So, okay, I'm going to teach you your first martial arts stance. It's standing at attention, right? Put your feet together, stand up tall, shoulders back, hands at your side, look right at me. Whoa, that's awesome, little Johnny. You're standing at attention like a black belt. And that's super cool. You just learned martial arts. You did. You know why? Think about it. Who is the bully going to pick on? The kid who stands like this at attention with confidence, or the kid who walks around like this with his head down at school? Naturally, the kid's going to say the first one. So the beautiful thing about that is you're promoting the benefit to your parents. We don't teach violence. We teach conflict resolution, right? And if I appear strong and confident, that is a great bully deterrent. Cool? But here's the kicker. Then I look back at that student and I'll say, because we're here in California, and when you walk into Stanford University for the interview for the full scholarship, can you please remember to stand like this? And of course, the kid is looking at me like, what the heck are you talking about? But then we shift over and we look at the parent and we say, it starts today, right? Right now. And this is one of the number one reasons why parents view one martial arts as an investment for their child's developmental needs and future. You see what I did by writing that in there? I wrote that in there on purpose so we plant the seeds with parents that this is an investment for their child, not an extracurricular activity which I could cut during the recession, or if they get bored or don't like it. You with me? So go back and listen to this a bunch of times, because I really, when I spent the time rewriting that new student experience, I'm looking to make emotional connections. I really am. I really am. And that's important for me. The new student experience is gold and will position you from day one as an investment. Thank you, Jason. Absolutely. Virginia, and I agree with you, Virginia. 100% agree on sharing prices with prospects. Parents appreciate and value transparency. They don't need us giving them the runaround. You're right about that. And I remember in the old days, right? Worst case scenario, take out a piece of paper and write the prices on it, right? Or worst case scenario, we are competitive with 99% of the martial arts schools out there. What the hell is that? Tell them the damn price, right? Tell them the price. But again, that pre-frame, your investment into your child's developmental needs and future are offered in tuition. Stop saying memberships. Stop it. I'm going to tell you right now. You want to position yourself as an investment for their kids? Stop saying memberships. Just like, I was talking to one of my clients in England, and they call their instructors coaches. I said, sir, stop using that word. I get coaches at the YMCA, at the Park and Rec. Everybody's a coach and they're working for free. So really, we need to position ourselves. I would use the word teacher. We're starting to do that more and more now. We're even moving away from instructor, my swimming instructor, right? I want to be a teacher. So if I could recommend that shift, stop using words like trainers, coaches, right, which is inherent with the fitness industry, and move into words like instructor, teacher. And of course, in Kenpo, I've been a professor because I'm an 8th degree black belt. I cannot tell you how much that works in my favor, right? I'm not into titles. You know that. They just feed ego. To me, I don't dig it. But in Kenpo, that's their protocol. I follow it. And organically, it's really worked in my favor in many, many cases. Cool. The new student experience. Good. You covered that. Scott, what do you think about the Black Belt Club, Leadership Club, and all of that? Upgrades after months to take more money. Upgrades are a standard practice in every industry. I can fly economy, I can upgrade to business, or I can upgrade to first class, right? I'm in a hotel. Hey, we just had a penthouse open up. Would you like to upgrade to that penthouse for this amount? So upgrades, Scott, have always been there. Ask any of my wisdom clients, ask anybody who works with Brannon Beliso. I do not believe for our culture. I'm going to share why. Why we talk about the why. We are one martial arts. One people, one school of one mindset. So for us, I believe, and this is only me, it's only my version of success. A lot of people are very successful with black belt clubs, masters clubs, leadership clubs. They're very successful. So I'm not saying it doesn't work as a business model. What I'm saying is for us and what we do, Scott, black belt clubs. I walk into school, red geese over here, blue geese over here, masters club over here, black belt club over here. For me, it promotes separatism, it promotes elitism, and it promotes niches, right? Now, I know everybody, niches or niches. Did I say that right? Niches, stitches. You know what I'm saying. The point for us is I know everybody wants to be part of something special. That's why an airline like Southwest came along and kicked butt on the industry. I don't know if they're still number one, but they came in and said everybody flies first class. That's it. You buy your ticket, we assign you to a boarding, boarding 1, 2, or 3, and you get on the damn plane. That's it. Equal treatment for everybody. I believe that's a huge retention tool. Then somebody said, well, how do I know who's teaching the class? If he doesn't have a special gold belt with a, sparkly top, the person running the class. So for us to fit our why of living your best life, I don't believe in a hierarchy. In our business, we run with a flat management, Scott. I never tell people I'm Brannon Beliso, the owner of One Martial Arts. I will say, yeah, I'm part of the team at One Martial Arts. That's fine. I change with my guys in the same room, Scott. I don't have a special groovy office. They don't blow trumpets when I walk out. When I walk onto the mat, whoever the lead instructor is that day, I ask him, Scott, where would you like me to be, sir? So for us, that doesn't work. We choose not to do any of those types of things. And that is just us. Cool? And a lot of my clients follow suit on that because I think that sense of equality is very important because when I make mistakes, I don't have that far to fall. If I'm constantly putting myself on a pedestal, I start believing my own hype, then I don't believe that's a good day. I simply do not, right? I simply do not. Yeah. And again, it's just one perspective, Scott. I think the beautiful thing about success, there's no one way. You can do whatever you want. And isn't that what makes entrepreneurship so beautiful? That's what makes small business so beautiful. Your version of success may not be my version of success, but are you confident, as I said at the beginning of this, to have that mindset, that type of mindset, sir, where you are so balanced that when you make a choice, when you make a decision, you execute it relentlessly until you achieve it because you trust yourself. No title is going to teach you to trust yourself. Nobody blowing up your ego is going to teach you to trust yourself. How do you earn that? Trial and error, sir. You go out there, you make a lot of mistakes, you course correct, and you keep at it. Cool? Cool. All right. Let me take a deep breath here. Got my best Papa Cup today. Everybody see my best Papa Cup? And that is my version of success. Being able to sit there and watch my son play basketball, right? Take my daughter to ride the roller coaster at New York, New York. That's my version of success. And, Lorenzo was with me, and God bless his soul. I love Lorenzo. And he posted that. What I saw today was a very successful man teach me that time is something you can't buy, right? You can't buy it. So spending that time with my son is much more important right now than simply making money. Cool. And coming in this recession, as we tighten up our belts, it'll be things like that. Through the pandemic, we had movie night. We had dinner together every night and breakfast. We sat together. It was such a wonderful time. We exercised in the backyard. We did, all these different things together as people, right? So be mindful of that. So first one, assess your whole business financially. How long can you go, right? If you lose 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% of your student base. Next one, go through every bit of your business, every web page, every brochure you hand out, every conversation you have with a potential new parent. And you're going to do what? Position yourself as an investment. You're going to do what? Put it in there. Everybody put that in the comments. Put it in there right now. Take full ownership. I want you to put it in writing right now. Right now. Yep. And reach out to Letitia. Letitia is more than my bookkeeper. She's my sister. I love her. I trust her. She has the keys to my kingdom. And as we pivot through this next, whatever it's going to be, I believe it's a recession. I believe it's here. When we come out on the other side of this, we'll have stories to share with each other. So she's great on that, right? Thank you, Nathan. I appreciate you, sir. Nathan's taking ownership. Position yourself as an investment. Nathan Hunt. Thank you, sir. And that's important. And so that way we're not tooting our own horn. We are helping to educate parents, not so we can close the deal. Quite the opposite. I want to invest in a relationship with you. So I want to bring value to the table. I don't want to close the deal. I don't want to sell you anything. I want to share with you the value of this relationship. And the best way to do that is by positioning ourselves as an investment. Oh, thank you, Jeff. Jeff Curry. Position yourself as an investment. Thank you, Jeff. So that's what I'm doing right now. I wanted to give 1 year of market muscles to get enough data. And I believe it's great, but I want to do it better. So we're going into our Market Muscles website now, and we're putting a link. It's great. Little circle with a button, right? I like the look because I didn't want to inundate the page with too much more copy. So there's a circle of a picture, there's a button, and it says schedule. You click on that, it shows you the schedule. Next circle with a button underneath, it says free trial. Great. Next one next to it, a little circle with a picture in it, another button on the bottom. It says kickboxing will say membership options. All our other programs, Excellent Kids, Youth Karate, Teen Karate, Adult Karate, guess what it's going to say? Tell me. Put it in the comments right now. What is that button going to say? Come on. What's it going to say? And while I'm waiting for somebody to put that in there, I love you that you're still positioning yourself as an investment. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, It's Time Live Believe is coming up. We have a lot of opportunities. The 4-day, I think we have 2 spots left. 2 spots. And I'm so excited about that. We have Sam Oncoming, who is a single school owner with 100 some odd students, multi-millionaire. And that's brilliant. I work with Sam every day. We're actually trading right now. I love Sam. Sam is one of the kindest souls I've met. He's a good man, and he's helped me a lot create wealth and passive income by investing. Also, Zach Conley. People have asked me about Zachary. They go, "Well, who is he? He's not so and so. He's not so and so." I said, "But data. Zach helped his mom, who opened a school in the middle of this freaking pandemic, right at when it was starting, and she's at 150 students. All he had was a gimbal, which is that motion thing you put your cell phone on, you can run around, and lots of creativity. When you don't have a lot of money, you can make up for it with creativity. So for the small school owner, having Zach Conley here is a real blessing. It's a real blessing, and he's going to help you, be able to do your own social media. So we have Sam and we have Zach going to be out. And then, of course, if you can stay for 4 days, ask anybody, Jason, James, Marco, the people who spend 4 days here, it's powerful. Jason Swanson, you are right on point, sir. That third button is not going to say memberships options. It's perfectly fine for One Fitness Kickboxing. After school program, youth karate, excellent kids, it will say tuition plans. Okay? Tuition is the key word. Tuition is schooling. Schooling is an investment for my child's future. So again, we don't use words like coaches or trainers. We use teachers. We use instructors. We don't use words like membership, even subscription, but we will say it. So going back to that new student experience, if I was to say that again, how much for your classes? Your investment for your child's developmental needs and future, stay with me, are offered in simple tuition plans in a month-to-month subscription. We do put that in because subscription is a word that says we're not contracts, we're not long-term, none of it. So we do finish with that word subscription, and I'm okay with that because everything out there today, every app, everything out there says subscription-based. Subscription-based means month-to-month. Okay? So if you do month-to-month like we do, which again, I think in this recession is really smart, real smart. You know why? If I'm looking at this uncertainty right now of this recession, you putting a 1-year contract in front of me is going to be a tough pill to swallow. So if I can wrap that up with a nice bow, one more time, write it down. I'll go really slow, okay? Your investment for your child's developmental needs and future are offered in simple tuition plans in month-to-month subscriptions. Go? There you go. There you go. And so tuition is the key word. And, when I was studying, I did a talk at Dave Kovar's event called Maximizing the Student Experience. And I reviewed and studied Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay? Study it. Maslow, Maslow, hierarchy of needs. And one of the things in there that was very important was that keyword need. Need. You need to position yourself as a need versus a want, right? I need air. I want a new Tesla. You see where I'm going with that? Because if I don't have air, that new Tesla doesn't mean anything. Anything. Good. You studied that for snowboard instructor? Yeah. And another one in Maslow's theories, just to get off the subject for a second, is I need to feel emotionally and physically safe in your environment, emotionally and physically. If you can create that, you can create that loyal, raving fan, and they'll go out there and tell other people. So I recommend everybody read Maslow's hierarchy of needs and ask yourself, are you fulfilling every one of those in the culture of your school? Cool. All right. So again, let's review. You're going to assess your whole business financially. Where do you stand? And if you lose 10%, 20, 30, 40, right? You're going to do that. Number two, you're going to set yourself up to be viewed as an investment for even an adult. Investing in us, keep you healthy, live longer. Sure, but don't make it fear-based. You're going to die tomorrow if you don't do jujitsu. Stay away from fear. The only thing greater than fear is hope. And I hope through this very simple talk today, you are going to have hope, not fear. You're going to be freaked out that we're in a recession or it's coming. You're going to have the hope that with the right knowledge, and you're a balanced human being, you're going to make great choices to help your business negotiate this challenge, just like the pandemic or anything else. Cool? And then the next one after that is what? What? A need versus a want. If they need your business, and I cannot tell you how many people, because we had 1,000 students when the pandemic hit, we dropped down to 750, 25% gone. Now that's good, from what I hear across the board. But the big thing I heard from parents is you were the one constant in my child's life through this pandemic. To be able to get on and take a virtual class or go outdoors and see you, or see you standing in our driveway with a mask and a shield and a freaking belt and a certificate on a stick. You really showed us that we need you. That was beautiful. So that's going to be a big one, right? That's a big one. That's a big one. So again, I believe what helps cultivate that is gratitude. You will hear me constantly say, we're so grateful, for your kind words when someone gives us a review. We're so grateful that you choose to be with us. You leave me, I'm so grateful for the time we shared together. See, that's important to me. And that endears people to you. So if you quit my school, what are we taught to do? Right? Go into guerrilla mode, get an appointment, get them in your office, tell them why they shouldn't quit. Ultimately, worst case, what kind of parent are you letting your child be a quitter? Right? Every angle, so they don't quit. Whereas for us, when you quit, first thing we do is send you a thank you postcard. Thank you for allowing us to serve you. We'll be right here if you ever want to continue. We do it in an email and follow, and you will be surprised. People come back to us. And this was, yesterday, here's a classic example. I was in the school. I came in early to give someone a private lesson. He's testing for black belt and moving away. And some guy was outside the door looking, smiling with his mom, a 17-year-old kid or something. And I'm looking at him. So I walked up, I go, hi, may I help you? He goes, I'm Amir. I trained with you in San Francisco when I was a little boy. And I was just in the air and I was just hoping that you might be here. I could have been 10 minutes late or not coming that day. I was there for a reason. And that's where hope works. This kid was just so happy to see me. I haven't seen this kid in like 7 years, 8 years. I didn't even remember him. I didn't, but he remembered me. That is hope, right? That is hope. And to make that connection is so important. So again, after need versus a want, you need to have that message of hope, right? Adam, I agree with you. We need to be the most positive thing coming through a pandemic, a recession, anything. We want to be that silver lining in that dark cloud. We want to be the light at the end of the tunnel. Absolutely. And that is why, there were several school owners I had to block during the pandemic. I even reached out to them privately. I said, please, I don't recommend for your business that you sit at social media and complain about the politics or complain about, the injustice of what's going on for the small business owner. There's enough of that gloom and doom and negativity in the news. I don't recommend that. Please don't do that. But some people chose to anyways. And it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So again, that last part is hope. I want you to instill hope, right? Letitia's saying, oh gosh, yes, I had a terrible experience when I left my old school. Yeah, absolutely. And I know it, because we go through the romance of we've invested so much into this child. I'm a teacher. You want to learn? Great. If you don't, great. It's equal investment. I teach, you train. I don't have any more at stake than you do. On top of it, you're paying me for it. So if a student leaves, they leave. Wish them well. Because if you do that and you do it right, that door is wide open. And that's why this kid comes up to me 7 years later. That's why, we had a kickboxer come back after 20 years. That's why the mom brought the sibling who's now 5 years old up, who was in a freaking baby carrier when they quit, right? They're going to leave either way. Why do it with gloom and doom and fire and brimstone? I don't recommend that at all, please. All right. So we're almost wrapping up here. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, please. And let me kind of wrap things up. So again, some of you are coming out for It's Time Live Believe, August 13th through 16th, right here in San Francisco, California. Again, I have faith. There's a reason why we're doing it in August versus November. November is going to be rougher in the state of this recession. So it's such a good thing. It all came out of I wanted to do the It's Time Live with my wisdom clients, right? Because we wrapped up in June after 6 months, and I wanted to see them sooner than November. How ironic that we're doing this in August for the first time ever, and this recession is just barreling down on us. So if you can come for the 4 days, come for 4 days. If you can come for the 2, come for 2. One day. But if not, because of this recessive state, there's the virtual option, right? There is the virtual option of the 1 day. Sign up for the virtual. You can do that as well. Cool. I want to thank my sponsors, as always, Market Muscles, Kids Love Life Skills, My Studio, LC Accounting. I love every one of those people. I love two. I love Stephen Reinstein. I love my sister. And of course, everybody at Kids Love Life Skills, Marco, Amy, Chris, Ben, Tish. I love them all. What is the situation with the mask in California? Well, this is what's going on with the mask in California. I know you're coming out, James. It's optional. It's your call. I'm not going to make you guys wear masks. I am not going to wear a mask when I speak. It doesn't happen. I didn't do it last year. I won't do it this year. I will request Saturday morning when we're viewing classes, because of all the little kids, that we wear a mask. 45% of the parents are not vaccinating the kids under 3. So the only thing I would request, and if you go in the back room to have a breakfast or take a break, you can take your mask off back there. We're big kids like we do in our adult classes. Mask is optional. But when we're around the little kids, just when you're watching classes between 9 a.m. and whatever, 11, I'm going to request that you wear a mask. I won't enforce that. Not at all. Cool? Cool. So that won't be enforced. Yep. So let's summarize everything again, please. Number 1, assess your whole business and project it out. Just like when you do a business plan, how much are we going to make in year 1? How much are we going to make in year 2? Do the same thing here, right? This is the current state of business. This is the money I have saved. These are the resources. I can get this SBA. I have this line of credit. This is what's out there. If I lose 10% of my business, how long will we sustain? 20, 30, 40. Just do it. If anything, it'll help you understand the health and the current state of your business. You got it? Okay. Number 2, make sure people view you as an investment, Cool. Number 3, need versus want. Become the need. Position yourself as a need. And number 4, hope. Hope. I know it's hard. I know we've just come through this pandemic, and the small business owner is still getting battered. We can't hire people because nobody wants to work, right? A lot of us are experiencing that too, no matter what we pay, what we offer. Right now, we're staring this recession going, come on. But I believe, because I have hope, it's not happening to me. It's happening for me. For me. That's the big difference. And that's what's so important. We look at suffering as being so awful in a Western culture. Addiction's high. Alcoholism's high, right? Spending's high. People don't want to embrace suffering. But it's like a sore muscle when I'm working out a lot. I don't bitch about it. I'm glad. That means I'm working out hard. Welcome whatever we're given with a sense of hope. Go out there, work smart, work hard, and be consistent in everything that you do. Cool. I'm going to look for changes in your websites. I want to see the word investment. I want to know somebody who went to your school, graduated from Cornell. I want to see things like that. You got it? I want to hear that this guy avoided a quadruple bypass because he got into training and lost 20 pounds with you. Those are the types of things we should be posting, right? All through summer camp. And I watched the numbers go up. I posted that last week. We had people book 5 weeks, last Sunday. And it's because my posts were like, did you know when we go to the park, we all wear red shirts so we can identify our kids quickly and efficiently to keep them safer? Did you know we all hold stop signs? Did you know? And those types of things endear yourself to parents. Those types of things, not just we're simply playing Legos, right? So all of that, because you're the storyteller of your business and you want to share with people why I want to come to your school versus the one down the street. You with me? So I want to thank everybody for being here today. This is my first time using StreamYard. Marco's on the back end there, backing me up and supporting it. Very cool. I like it. I'll get our StreamYard set up for the future. I love it because I can see everybody's comments at Facebook right here on the right. I don't have 50 different devices open. And I look forward to seeing everybody that's coming to It's Time Live Believe for the 4-day, the 2-day, or the 1-day. Very, very grateful. Monique, the 4-day option is transformational. It is. And I've watched Monique just grow. Just, she was already a strong woman. She's blossomed into this force that to be reckoned with. And I'm so excited that I was able to spend time with her at Wisdom for 6 months, as well as the last It's Time for 4 days. And she'll be here for 4 days again. Jason will be here, Marco, James. I'm so grateful. Sensei Mish, I get to meet his wife. Lots of cool people coming out. All right. So once again, I want to say thank you so much. I'm back, but don't be surprised if I have my wisdom guys get in there next week and hit you up again. They did such an amazing job. I want to thank James and Jason and Marco and Miss Monique. Thank you. I went back and watched the shows. The first one made me cry, but I went back and watched them. I did. And I'm just so humbled that you guys have learned so much and you're so much more confident in everything that you're doing. Cool? All right. Hey, Brannon Beliso, this is Success Never Sleeps. Subscribe to this podcast, Success Never Sleeps. It's out there at all the different podcast platforms. I have my mindful meditation podcast. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me at Instagram. Everything else, go to brannonbeliso.com. Until we talk again, please, you go out there, live your best life.